I want to talk to you about something very important about lands. I mean, about a year or two ago, 2 years ago, we had a very sustained and consistent conversation about land acquisition. Well, last year, Parliament passed a new law to govern land administration here in Ghana, and it is expected to address the perennial problems with land acquisition with its associated violence. This new law proposes very stringent punishment for persons claiming ownership of lands that they do not deserve. The Land Act 2020, Act 1036, was passed by Parliament and given presidential assent on the 23rd of December last year to revise, harmonize and consolidate the law. So what is this about, and what must you know about it? We have a representative from the Lands Commission here. His name is Timothy Anyedoho. He's Principal Land Administration Officer at the Lands Commission. He'll help us understand this new act and how it applies to us. Timothy, it's good to see you. It's been a while.
It's good to see you.
Yeah. So, I mean, we run this, like I said, consistent program where we talked a lot about land. Yeah. But now the laws have changed.
Yes.
Give us the highlights of the new act.
Okay, so the highlights will be from what you call the long title of the act when you said to harmonize, to consolidate. Okay. Look at section 281 of this act. It repeals. That means it sort of repeals about 12 laws and one section of it, of one. So let's say 12. We say 13, but it's not all 13. Okay. One of them, Act 127, is just Section 11 that was repealed. Okay. That will show that we've sought to consolidate all those laws into one law. The feature of all those old laws were that they were pre-1992 Constitution. There have been judicial decisions. There have been all kinds of things that have happened in the current time. So the new act was passed, and we are happy. It's a new baby. It's in response to some of the discussions we've had here, right. As you said, sustainably 2 years ago. Yeah. I think other officers of the commission were here. Yeah. And then it seeks to, so I'll speak about a few of the highlights.
Yes, one of the key is double or triple, multiple ownership. Yes, ownership of lands. Yes. How does it address that key problem, and then the others?
Okay, so first of all, the law seems to bring a lot of stringent offenses in the act. We've spoken about land guards here. I remember the first time I was here was land wars, if I remember. So section 12 of the act now seeks to deal with that. It doesn't use the heading as land guards, but it says anybody who procures, uses, or through whom your interest in land is stopped or is disrupted, he can be prosecuted by the courts. If he goes and he's charged for it, he's prosecuted, then his sentence may be between minimum of 5 years, maximum of 15 years.
So 5 to 15 years imprisonment
for procuring somebody, or you yourself partaking in preventing somebody from using his land or extorting money from the person, or doing acts that would endanger the person's interest of land. That's one, and that's not the only one. In fact, the law doesn't only look at those outside. It looks also as public servants like us. And if you look at Section 276 down, it talks about offenses. And the offenses, some are to us public servants. For instance, if you fraudulently aid somebody to register, or you cause somebody's documents to be lost, or you also have penalties and then in prison terms, some of them 7 to 10 years, 7 to 15
We didn't have this previously?
We didn't have this previously. Under the old law, there were still ways by which you could charge people for this. And if you remember the last time we discussed, we were looking at criminal offenses like assault and other things. Then also, they were in the Land Act 122. It was a misdemeanor, meaning it was from 0 to 3 years. It was seen as just minor offenses. Okay. But this act sees it as very grievous. And if you think of the fact that crimes like stealing and others have from 0 to 25 years, you can see that this has come into a certain serious category, and it's supposed to be a big deterrent. There are other provisions like customary land secretariats. I remember we talked about how the chiefs used to manage land and how it was a challenge. We've put into the law. If you look at Section 13 downwards to about Section 18, it talks about creation of what we call the customary land secretariats. Meaning now,
are we going to create it now?
Yes, we are. We have a law. That's one of the challenges we had. It was voluntary. You choose to do it, but now it's in law, and regulations are being passed to guide the establishment of that. It has only good things, and this law it has some areas that people have certain challenges with, but all in all, we look at it as a great.
I'm just wondering. You seem to have, chewed some of these, some of the, I mean, parts of the law very well.
Yeah.
But I think that we should get some, another time where we take it one after the other and invite our viewers in and hear from them as we do it usually. But the highlights are that now it is more, you're going to be subjected to stringent punishments.
Yes, stringent punishments.
If you sold lands that did not belong to you.
Yes, if you prevented people from enjoying their interest.
And if you work at the Lands Commission and you help somebody to do
something fraudulently, you are also liable to stringent.
Are these the only sanctions?
Oh, no, there are sanctions of penalty even if you are a head of family and you don't account for dissipation of land. There are penalties associated with that offense. So around through the act, there's clear lines. In fact, if you look at, I was going to quote again, but look at section 104, section 106, 104.2 and 106.2. It also tells us that if you submit your documents to Lands Commission within 3 months, Lands Commission is supposed to respond, at least let you know whether we are proceeding or not proceeding.
3 months?
3 months. If we don't proceed, then you must deem it as registered. And therefore, this puts pressure on us not to leave things lying. At least you need to hear from us. Exactly. That doesn't mean we would have finished, but at least it would advise the client on whether it's been. And this is novel. It has not been in any law. Now, at least the law is there. You can hold us responsible based on what. There was
the digitization process that you were on. Is there anything in the act that guides?
Yes. So section 73 to 76 will speak to what we call electronic conveyancing, and that's what we have been preparing ourselves for all this while, and that's why we have been taking strong steps at digitization. Hopefully, when we are fully ready for it, this is something that our digitization will help us be able to achieve.
Did you have, I don't remember timelines being added to that project?
Yes. So as currently, we can speak to some PPP arrangement as looking at a 5-year program. The minister, current minister, Honorable Abu Jinapo, MP, was with us with a working visit. He's come there twice since he's been a minister, which is also very encouraging, and he's giving us pressure to be able to do this, so we are doing that. Okay, well, unfortunately for today, I've run out of time, but you know that before I finish, this is space that for the Lands Commission, because we want people to have we have a seminar, a national symposium, and we are happy the journalist of the year getting his brand new car may drive there, but Samson is being a facilitator for us on Wednesday for a national symposium on this Land Act. Where people, is it open to everybody? No, so we because of the COVID and the restrictions, we'll be streaming live on Facebook and all that, but it's for us to look at the way
break it down. I'm very excited about that. So what it means is that we know that we all have land issues. I mean, we've all had a family member or somebody who has been, involved. So Wednesday, make a date. It will be here on Joy News, I suppose. Yes, the arrangements being done. The arrangements have been made. Okay, I didn't know that. But yeah, so certainly Wednesday, make a date. But here on the Pulse, we talk a lot about land. So we will take our time and break the law down. Send your questions and your thoughts coming through, and then we will have that conversation. Timothy, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good to see you. I wish that we had a lot more time. We will certainly make time for it. Thank you for the sustained time you've given. It's Timothy Anyedoho, Principal Land Administration Officer at the Lands Commission. In fact, he seems to have all the documents at the Lands Commission in his head. And anytime you ask him, he just gives you the information. Timothy, thank you very much.